Namaste. My name is Ram Hotep, broadcasting on behalf of the number 13 signsastrology.com. How's everybody doing today? I thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. This particular episode, I'm going to talk about conspiracy theories. And I know that most people are not used to hearing Ram Hotep really talk about conspiracy theories. Now, a lot of people think that when I speak on aliens, that that's a conspiracy theory. Like a lot of people feel like, when I talk about that, that's rather sci-fi, and that's something that is a conspiracy theory, and that's something that can't be proved. And I'm going to kind of go into that, and I'm going to kind of address that today. I'm doing this particular episode because I get a lot of emails from people asking me questions from different researchers, from different teachers, from different lecturers and authors and stuff like that. And a lot of these questions are geared towards what I would deem and call conspiracy theories. I get a lot of people asking me, for instance, I'm just going to go through a few different conspiracy theories that people talk about all the time. And I'm going to start with 9/11 because I know a lot of people feel like, well, 9/11, that was definitely a conspiracy theory. That's been proven. We already know that the elite had something to do with that. The Illuminati knocked down the towers. And we know that's been proven that that's a conspiracy. And you can believe that and things like that. But the thing is that you don't really have any proof. You don't really understand how things work and how the world functions. So for you to go out and just say that 9/11 was a conspiracy theory, for one thing, okay, let's say it was. But you would need to know the motive. First, you would need to know who was behind it. If it was a conspiracy theory, you need to know who was behind it. And most people, they're going to say the Illuminati was behind it. They're going to put all these groups and these names on it, but then at the end of the day, you don't even have a charter for the Illuminati. You don't even really know who the Illuminati is. So just to go out and say that the Illuminati did 9/11, that sounds rather ignorant. Then you'll have some people that say, the president did it, or, what I'm saying, like the president that at that time had something to do with it. I mean, and that all sounds cool or whatever. You can have all the research and everything that you want, but at the end of the day, nobody has concrete proof. Nobody has really successfully took the thing that happened in 9/11, took that to court and successfully prosecuted those particular people that was supposedly behind this conspiracy theory. So do I feel like a big event like 9/11, do I feel like it was members in the government that were a part of it? Of course. Because anytime a big event like that, anytime some type of event like that happens where a lot of people die and lives are lost, you already know that there is going to be people on the inside that's involved. People get paid off, people get bribed. I mean, we already know how the game goes. Basically, when you look at government is a group of human beings at the end of the day. No matter how you look at it, people in government put on their pants one leg at a time, just like people on the street. So, I mean, people in the government are broke and have financial problems just like people on the street. So it'll be easy to bribe somebody in government and give them a little bit of money or whatever to do X, Y, and Z. Now, you got a lot of people that feel like 9/11 didn't even, like, the buildings didn't even happen, like the whole thing was a fake. And that's another reason why I'm putting this video out, because this is for like a lot of the young people that never even been to ground zero. See, a lot of people, they don't even know 9/11 exists. You got a lot of people that get on the internet and they hear people talk about 9/11 being fake, and that was the airplanes was a video simulated, some type of Hollywood video simulation, and the airplanes crashing into the buildings or whatever. All of that was just totally fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a group of people that really believe that and that never been to the World Trade Center. I mean, I've talked to them and they feel like the World Trade Center didn't exist, because that's starting to come out now. So my point I'm making here is that when you deal with conspiracy theories, the problem is that you're putting out information and you really don't have a lot of proof behind it. So what happens is that information over time, if it's on YouTube and you're writing in books and stuff like that, people are going to start believing it. And then what happens is that young people that never seen the ground zero in the World Trade Center, they're going to go out and eventually start telling people that the World Trade Center didn't exist. So that's why conspiracy theories have to be careful, because they distort history. And it's okay, you want to get some YouTube clicks on your channel. I mean, you want to get a whole bunch of people watching you. You want to get a whole bunch of people buying your book. So you got to come up with something that nobody else has talked about so that, not only can it give you credibility, but it can get you views and clicks. I mean, it's a good chance that parts of 9/11 could have been concocted. We don't even know why 9/11 happened. Most people say that 9/11 happened. The reason why it happened is because they want to bring down a new world order, and they want to take away all of our liberties, and and all of our freedoms and all of that. And if you really want to get on that level, and I'm not trying to knock anybody here, but your freedoms have already been taken away. If you really want to get on that level, when they came out with Social Security, I mean, you could say that you lost your freedoms when they came out with the Social Security number. You got all these people talking about they don't want to get tracked and the chip, and talking about gang stalkers and all of this other stuff or whatever, but you're getting tracked to your Social Security number every day. And I'm not saying don't have a Social Security number, because I mean, I understand it, things in the matrix and what they are and what they aren't. But my whole point is that people want to come on here talking about conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but then you can't really demonstrate why they're doing this stuff. You talk about the New World Order, but the New World Order is already here. They already control the world. The order of the world is right on the dollar bill. When they created the United States, that was the New World Order. That was the global economy. The United States runs the world. That is the New World Order. And that's what people fail to realize. So you miss points. And I'm not saying, I don't know who did 9/11. I'm not trying to say that, like I said, parts of it couldn't have been a part of a black operations and things like that, so that they can make certain things happen. Because you got to remember, when you are in a position of power, you're on what's called the world stage. And people they get invited into the world stage, and people that have karma on the world stage, it's a reason why they're on the world stage. Like, they spent previous lives as elites and as pharaohs and as kings and sages and popes and things of that nature. So these people that get on the world stage, they have karma to deal with. This is how they get on the world stage or whatever. So the average person, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because the average person, or those people that are a part of the flock, they don't understand the karma of somebody that has a particular natal chart that puts them into the world. And they have karma basically with a whole bunch of people, so they get pulled into positions like politics, entertainment, things of that nature. These are people that have karma on the world stage, like presidents and senators and stuff like that. These people, in their natal charts, when you look at it, it's obvious that they spent previous lives on the world stage, whether they was born into an elite family or anything like that. So when you start basically you can't really like blame people. And when, like, a lot of these conspiracy theorists, they try to make these people that sit in these seats into being so evil, but they don't understand that the world stage is not controlled by those people. The world stage is controlled by entities. And that's where, until people get that and grasp that in their mind, you're never going to understand conspiracy theories. You're never going to understand any of this stuff, because you believe that it's a group of guys that sat at a table and came up with 9/11, the Boston bombings, all of these different world events that happened, the BP oil spill. It's a lot of people that feel like, like the presidents and different people, they all came together in a room and said, yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fake this attack and make the people believe, that it really happened. And we're going to make all this money off of it and control the people off of it. Because once the people believe that it really happened, then that's when we can put down terrorist laws and homeland security and all that stuff. And that's why you got people that build whole YouTube channels off of talking about this type of stuff. And I'm not knocking you, but my thing is that you need to raise your vibration. These people that are talking like this, you need to see that it's deeper than that. And most people that are talking like that know it. They know that it's deeper than just some guys coming together and deciding that they're going to knock down a building so they can control people's liberties. These guys that come together, they're already up under control, and the people have already lost their liberties. So the people are already up under control. So it makes you wonder, why are they really doing this? If the people are already up under control, we know they are. People do basically whatever the television tells them. People are programmed. They do whatever their cell phone tells them. They do whatever the authority so-called tells them. So we already know the masses of the people been up under control. So don't try to come on that level. So the only other level that you could say is that these people are just sinister and they just want to do this for kicks. And that's not the case either. The world stage is controlled by ETs, by entities, even if you want to call them, some Christians out there like to call them demons, but there are forces that control this world. In the scriptures, it talks about being at war with powers that are seen and unseen. and it talks about evil that manifests in human beings and then evil that you can't see. And the evil that you can't see is what causes all of these catastrophic events. They are entities, and there are people that resonate with these entities mentally, that connect with these particular entities, and they channel them and they take on these particular entities and they do their bidding. When you hear me talk about Pluto, I'm not just up here ranting and raving. When you hear me talk about Uranus, the reason why I'm talking about all this abstract stuff is because I'm trying to get you to see that it's deeper than the Illuminati. It's deeper than conspiracy theories, and it's deeper than some Bilderbergers and a group of men that come together to try to control the world like they already don't. It's deeper than that. These particular men were invited into a group that's controlled by an entity, and this is how they're controlling the world. So really another conspiracy I want to talk about, because I said I want to talk about 9/11, I want to go into talking about the Boston bombings too, because I mean, you got the Boston bombings, and you got certain people out here now that are already starting to say that the Boston bombings didn't happen. The people that were on the bombings, the runners were actors. People didn't get hurt. Lives were lost. Buildings were blown up. The Boston bombings happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people need to grow up and wake up and stop getting caught up into all of these conspiracy theories, and people online, they're trying to get views and clicks. So they're going to tell you all kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that they're half of their research isn't right, because I know how they do online. They're just like on the media, like a lot of the media outlets that are on the internet and that come through the internet. They're just like the television. And so-called people always knock CNN, and they always knock Fox and all these other people, but you got people online that do the same stuff. They report half information. They'll take a story, they'll find out a few facts that the media isn't talking about, they'll come up with an article, and then they'll put that out. And then 2 weeks later, it's another article. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you got all these different angles where people talking about the Boston bombers was a conspiracy from this angle, from that angle, from that angle. But at the end of the day, nobody has proof. Nobody has proof about, or if they do, they take, like I said, they'll take a portion of the truth and distort the rest of it, so to make it look like it's credible, because they'll take one credible point and then distort the rest of it or whatever, and say, well, the Boston bombers didn't happen, and woo, woo, woo. I mean, I wasn't there, so I've been to the World Trade Center. I know the World Trade Center exists. Like I was telling you earlier, some people believe the World Trade Center didn't exist and it never was there. That's crazy, but people believe that. Like, believe me, I get emails all the time. I know a lot of people out there from New York are like, what? Because people from New York know at ground zero, like, you already know the World Trade Center exists. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that to me, that's crazy. And that's why I'm really doing this video, because it's starting to get to the point where conspiracy theories are starting to make people crazy. Like, they really are, or whatever. Like, to the point where people are starting to think everything that come on the news just is fake. Trayvon Martin, fake. Everything is just fake. Now, I'm not saying that. We already know the TV is like Hollywood. I watch Wag the Dog just like the rest of you guys. I know about how they create news, and how, you know what I'm saying, basically they create media, and the news is kind of like entertainment or whatever, to where they will add on portions to a story, make it more interesting. I realize that Hollywood takes scripts from people. I realize all of this stuff. So I'm not saying that conspiracies don't happen and people aren't oppressed and things like that. But a lot of times, guys, you got to realize another thing is, like, you blame the government all the time for like conspiracies, and most of the time it's not the government. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was somebody that was concocting a conspiracy, it's not the government. These are interest groups. These are groups that you know nothing of. You probably never even heard of, that's putting together conspiracies. It's not the government. They use people within the government, you know what I'm saying, to recruit. And they recruit people, I mean, from within the government, but it's not always the government, guys. So it's just a lot of stuff I want to just clear up, because this is for the young people, because there's a lot of young people that believe in this stuff. So the Boston bombings, that happened. Believe it. The Boston bombings happened. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there, so I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, I seen it with my own two eyes and all of that, but the Boston bombings happened. I've got emails from people that, you know what I'm saying, that basically were eyewitnesses, that, I mean, they were there. It happened, guys. So all of this stuff about, you know what I'm saying, like the Boston bombers that happened, 9/11 was a computer simulation, and they used, I mean, I'm not saying 100% it wasn't. I don't know if that second building really was struck by an airplane or not, or if they used explosives. I'm not saying they didn't use explosives. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to say the whole aspect of how they reported 9/11 is 100% true. What I'm trying to get people to see is that a lot of stuff they can't really let the public know. a lot of stuff about how stuff really happens or whatever. It's a reason for that. It's a matter of national security. It's a matter of certain people are privy to certain information, and that's how the world works. So a lot of times when you see things on the news and it's like kind of like conflicting, you got to remember that the media is not a part of the government. Like, the media has an interest in making money. They are a business. The media is not a part of the government. What I mean by that is that when it comes on TV, that's not the government telling them, all right, put this on the news, and do that. The media fakes things and, creates entertainment. And a lot of times they're not working in cahoots with the government. They're trying to get views just like people on YouTube. So I'm not saying they're not guilty of distorting things. What I'm saying is that don't believe everything is a conspiracy. Look into it and research it. Innocent lives were lost on the Boston bombings. Innocent lives were lost on 9/11. The building was destroyed. How it happened, I'm not sure. How the Boston bombings happened, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was really pressure cookers. I wasn't there. Again, but it happened. And that's my point. That's why I'm making this video, is because if you really want to solve the problem, talking about the conspiracy doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. And I'm going to go into that in a minute. I want to point out one more conspiracy theory. Now, you got a lot of people, and this is a very important one for me, because, I talk about ETs, and you got a lot of people now that are coming out and saying that the government, and this is a conspiracy theory, is going to fake an alien invasion. That's right. They're saying the government is going to fake an alien invasion. And the reason why they're going to do this is because, again, they want to take away our liberties. They want to bring down the New World Order, the whole thing down. And they know that if they fake an alien invasion, that's going to bring the New World Order down all the way. Guys, again, you need to wake up. The New World Order is already here. Look on the back of your dollar. When they designed the dollar, that was a long time ago. They was already letting you know that the New World Order is here. It's a success. Then George Bush Sr. came back in 1992 publicly in a speech and said that the New World Order has been a success. The New World Order is here. If that's what you guys are scared of and worried about, it's here. You know what I'm saying? So why are they going to fake this alien attack? What type of liberties are you talking about they want to take away that they already haven't took away? You can't own land. You can't even grow food. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff you can't already do. And you talking about they're going to take away your liberties and stuff like that. Guys, come on. So you got these people that are saying that they're going to fake this attack and they're going to make these aliens come and they're going to basically have it all on the news, and then that's going to basically create martial law. That's going to give them a reason to bring down martial law. If they want to do that, they can use terrorists to do that. They don't have to use aliens to do that. See what I'm saying? It's really what it is that it's a lot of people that don't want to talk about the alien thing because they're religious and they're acting like they're not religious. Now they're starting to come like scientists and stuff like that. So now they're starting to say, well, I'm a scientist and I'm here to let you know that aliens don't exist. You're religious and you don't want aliens to exist because you don't want anything intelligent outside of humans to exist in this universe because it's not talked about in the Bible. Or you think it's not talked about in the Bible, but it is. That's the thing. It actually is talked about in the Bible, but you don't want to acknowledge that. So instead of going through all of that and explaining it to your followers and the people, you would rather just get out here and say that aliens don't exist and there's no alien threat coming, and basically the government is behind that. They created all the crafts and it's a Hollywood movie, a Hollywood epic. And no, because they've been seeing crafts since the cowboy days before Hollywood existed. They have documents of crafts on pyramid walls. Where did you think the ancients is just making this stuff up? How come all of these cultures and people are seeing this stuff that couldn't communicate with each other? Why are they seeing this stuff? You think they just sit around and just make stuff up or whatever, and people just, this is what they do because they wanted to deceive people, so they had to come up with a historical conspiracy where they went around to all the different pyramids and drew crafts on walls. People are just, man, you need to think, use your noggin. Yes, aliens exist. They've been out there. They got pictures of them on walls and pyramids in South America and Egypt, all over. I can keep going. I got videos that already talks about this stuff. That's not really what I'm here for. My point is to say that wake up, use your brain. Full disclosure, the government already knows about it. They're working with aliens. The government really actually is trying to keep the alien invasion, if you will, of the alien energy that's surrounding this planet right now. They're trying to keep that a secret. They're not trying to use that to take away people's liberties. They don't want people to know about that because they don't want the world to go into a state of chaos. You think they want people to know about that? So it's just a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You need to just kind of think about or whatever. They're not. That's a conspiracy theory. That's a straight up conspiracy theory to say that the government is trying to take away our liberties by creating an alien invasion. That's not going to happen. People need to wake up. You definitely need to wake up. Definitely need to wise up. You need to understand and study the New World Order, because most of these conspiracy theories are rooted in this New World Order boogeyman thing, where they're like, the New World Order's coming and they're going to get us all, and we're all going to go down. And that's where most people, that's how most people become a conspiracy nut, a so-called conspiracy theorist, because you believe in the New World Order and you don't realize that the New World Order was something that was supposed to represent progress. That was something that the ancients came up with long before. That was not a matter of black and white and America and China. And that was the New World Order. Was the concept of that was going on before there was a United States. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were already talking about the New World Order, and the concept of the New World Order is dealing with us as a human race coming together, solving the problems of the planet, and creating a new world order based upon everybody uniting up under a particular banner, so that we can basically go into the final frontier, which is to go into space, to join the Galactic Federation of Light, to become initiates in that, so that we can now become space travelers. So the New World Order is basically was supposed to be, this is what the ancients talked about. The ancients, the Moors, and some of the ancients before that. The New World Order was supposed to have bring peace to this planet. That was the whole goal of. That's why when the Mayans talked about the 1,000 years of peace, they were talking about the New World Order, because the New World Order represented peace. It represented, okay, we're not fighting over land anymore. We're not fighting over race anymore. We're not fighting over who came first. We're not fighting over how much melanin this person got versus how much melanin that person got. So therefore I'm superior, or no, I'm superior because my hair is straight and yours is kinkly. So I'm superior. Or I'm superior because I got a college education and you don't. You're from the hood. Or I'm superior because I got $1 million and you're broke. See, all of this stuff that people are on, and separation and all that, that's what's holding up the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? From coming, I know you're like, well, you're promoting the New World Order. Oh my God, you're definitely like an agent. You're definitely getting paid off. No, it's that I research and I study. See, I researched the New World Order outside of what you guys are reading on the internet and stuff like that. And you guys are reading a lot of this stuff from ex-government agents that made oaths and then broke their oaths. Yeah, I said they made oaths with the government, then they go out and tell everything. And then you say, oh, the government killed them. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the government killed them or not, but I know one thing is, if you made an oath and then you go out here and you go against your oath, I don't know what's going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You probably shouldn't make that oath, and then you want to go out here and speak all radical and talking against the government. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff, people don't use their brains. People are ignorant, and they bring a lot of problems onto themselves. They really do. Like, and that's what I'm trying to get people to see. Like, it really has, it's like you try to blame the government for your problems and stuff like that, but really most of it has a lot to do with people, the individual. And this is why and I was going to close this video now with this is why I teach the spiritual sciences. I don't focus on conspiracy theories and stuff like that, or what did or didn't happen, because I know that anything, in order for a conspiracy to play out on any level, there needs to be an entity, an unseen entity there to regulate that. So even in government, in order for a group of guys in government to come together and play something out, in order for it to be successful on that massive a level, a spell needs to be cast to get the people to believe it, and you need an entity to control that situation, because it's so big that one man or one group cannot control it. When you talk about something as big as 9/11, so this is why they summons occult forces and occult entities. So I realized that if they're using the spiritual world to do their bidding, or if they're working with the spiritual world to destroy, then I work with the spiritual world to build up and to be constructive. They work with the spiritual world to be destructive, then we work with the spiritual world to be constructive. So my thing is that, why focus on beating up on the government? Why focus on talking about conspiracy theories and New World Order when that's not helping anybody? That's not solution oriented. Most people that get out there and talk about that, they're always have the reptilian type mind. And that's what you fail to realize. They're playing both sides. The people on the internet, they're working with the New World Order, or whatever you want to call it, because they're playing both sides. And they got that reptilian trait where they always basically want to come up with some war tactic or some way of, we're going to fight and kill and use our guns and blow up some shit or whatever, and that's going to stop the New World Order. And it's not going to stop the New World Order. We had enough, especially here in America, we had enough bloodshed, enough blood here on this planet, like here on this particular part of the planet. We had enough of that. You know what I'm saying? Like with the wars that were fought with the so-called Indians and so-called pilgrims, and just a lot of wars that took place on this soil for us to just keep continuing this thing and fighting for your liberties and all of that. When you can easily fix yourself spiritually, open your third eye, activate your pineal gland, your pituitary glands, and your higher senses, your six chakras, and line up your chakras, and you will automatically solve this problem. The problem is spiritual, and being able to be tolerant in any situation. See, a spiritual person, it's still going to be war. Like, just because I made this video doesn't mean people are going to still believe in conspiracies. The government is still going to crap people's balls. I understand all of that. But the thing is that a spiritual person knows how to override that because they're spiritual. So they know, okay, this is an experience. I must go through this. And they accept it and they work on their problems from the inside to solve them instead of getting mad at the outside, because they know if anybody is to confront you, they have to get permission from your higher self before they can do it. In the Bible, when it talks about Job getting confronted by the devil, see, the devil had to go to God. You know who God was in that instance? God was Job's higher self. The devil was his shadow self. So his shadow self had to go to the higher self and get an agreement to test Job. And then he was able to send things on the outside at him, because the shadow self does that to challenge Job. But permission was needed first. So if you work on yourself on the inside, and you work on your shadow self and your light self, it doesn't matter about conspiracy theories. It doesn't matter about whether or not aliens are going to come and the New World Order is going to come and you're going to lose your liberties and this, that, and the third. Because if you're working on yourself, you're going to always be free. So you're always free. And most people, they're scared of conspiracies because they feel like the government is going to take away their liberties and their freedom. But you're always free. As long as you have a connection with your higher self, or true connection, you know why you're here, and you know what you're supposed to be doing, you're free. You're free because knowledge frees you. That's what frees you. Now, as far as getting free physically, you're never going to be free physically because your soul is locked into this body. Unless you expire, unless you die or transform, or unless you meditate and take your consciousness outside of the body. But you're locked into this body. That's the real prison. You talk about the prison is the shell. So if you want to free yourself from this, put knowledge in your head, working with your own energy, transforming yourself into an inner God, transforming yourself into a child of the light. I'm going to do a video about the children of the light. Transforming yourself into that, becoming an immortal and a super being, is how you're going to free yourself. So, guys, when you go online, you read about the conspiracy theories, and you hear about them on the YouTube videos, research them. Remember, what you hear on the internet as far as media is just like what you see on television. Just because it's on the internet does not mean it's real. It does not mean it's real. I'm not saying that conspiracy theories and conspiracies aren't played out on high levels. I'm not saying that before I shut this video down, but I am saying that you need to question the conspiracy theories, and really you don't even need to worry about conspiracy theories really if you focus on the spiritual aspect of yourself. Because as long as you're focusing on the internal aspect, the external is child's play. You can create whatever you want to see on the external. And people that are focusing on conspiracy theories and teaching that, you know that they're not spiritual teachers. I'm not saying you don't learn from them and get information from them, but you know they haven't mastered this world, because if they did, they wouldn't even focus on that and trying to scare people on that. They would focus on the higher mysteries. They won't worry about the numbers. See, they're trying to get clicks. I could talk about I know all kind of stuff about conspiracies. I get all kind of information. I could talk about I could talk about the Mars project. I mean, I could talk about so much. I could talk about what's going on the moon right now, on the dark side. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about Nibiru and what's going to happen when that comes back on the conspiracy level, though. But I'm not going to talk about conspiracies. I'm not going to do that. So whatever you hear me talk about, it's going to be science, uplifting, enlightening. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching. And until we meet again, I'll leave you in namaste. Peace.